Welcome to Broski Season 7 Rebels versus Saints. Today, the tribe had to compete in a card transfer challenge. The catch was they only had to use their mouths in order to transfer them by making some sort of suction cup type motion. Pretty tough challenge. I think that we can all agree. I'm going to start with Molly. Yesterday, we saw you compete in touchy subjects, and you got your first individual immunity challenge win of the season. But today, I watched you not even attempt the immunity challenge. Seriously, no offense. Uh, but you got outplayed by Miss Diane, who is 61 years old. Um, so, my question for you is what about that challenge was so tough for you to accomplish?
It was the cards. I couldn't get a single card to stick to my face at in any way. I was sucking them. Oh my God, you guys, this sounds gross. I that's it was bad. I couldn't do it. They weren't sticking. I was sucking them up and it just wasn't working. And the more I talk, the more I'm like, oh, this sounds disgusting. But it was so bad. And then in my practicing, it wasn't working either. And my knees were getting beat up. And I'm
Right.
so proud of Diane. Jesus Christ.
Diane, I will say it took you the longest out of anyone who completed it, but you beast moded it on that hardwood floor. So congrats to you. Molly, I have one more question for you. At the final eight, do you think that throwing in your shot at immunity really speaks to your positioning in this game? You don't even think that you need immunity to be safe for tonight? You care to comment on that in any way?
Oh, no, I definitely wasn't thinking like, oh, I don't need this immunity because I think you always need immunity. But it was not happening for me. And I knew that there were some other people that were definitely getting it done in like a decent amount of time based on previous challenge performances. I knew I wasn't going to beat certain people. So I was like, and it wasn't working. It wasn't happening for me.
Right.
So it's not the element that like I was like, oh, I don't need this immunity because you always need immunity no matter what. It
Okay.
was like, this is just not working.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Molly. I appreciate it. Ryan, I'm going to hop to you and I'm going to kind of piggyback off that question. I watched you fight for your life for the past couple of tribals now. You're still here. So at this stage in the game, the final eight, would you ever, even though it was a difficult challenge, you didn't think you had a shot at winning, would you ever sit out of an immunity challenge if you could help it?
This is no disrespect to Molly at all. And I would never do that. I would practice all day, all night. I would have practiced till 6:59 until the challenge was due if I really could. I'm not dissing you, Molly. It was hard. My knees, girl, they were hurting, aching. But I would, especially when it's just like you can see the division of Saints to Rebels, and there's two of us left, and it's like like you eat like it's dog eat dog at this point. Like it's whatever. I don't know.
Okay,
I wouldn't give up though.
interesting you brought up the Rebels and Saints thing again because I was going to ask after last night, Amanda went home. Do you think that your position in this game has changed after that vote? Meaning, do you think, oh, there's only two Rebels left in this game? Do you think the Saints are going to make a move right now and that now you're a little bit more important? Or do you think that it's either you or John again tonight?
Well, I've talked to some like a couple of people. I was silent treatment again today. I don't know why, but from what I've heard, it seems like it's going to be me or John. I don't have an advantage or an idol to play unless you have one again behind you, top of the flag, up behind the flag, anything. No, I don't have anything. Like, or I would have played it last night. I think John is in the same boat. So it's kind of like I don't know what else to do. John and I were both sitting here like, well, what else can we do? Talk to who you need to talk to, do what you have to do. And like, I'm sorry, but it's like, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, but like, yeah.
Who's giving you the silent treatment, Ryan? Do you think that's good jury management, giving someone the silent treatment on a day that they think they're going home?
I don't think so. That's not very good silent. And it's not really silent treatment. I got messages at 8:53 to 8:56 around those times. And I'm assuming that's when everybody got off their call and we're like, hey, so we're doing this now. Like everybody go tell them. what's happening. So I have a gut feeling, and I've had this gut feeling that it's going to be near John tonight. I think John has the same gut feeling too.
Right, let's get John in on the action then. John, last night you tried to make a little bit of an argument. It's time to make a move, all of these things. Then it looked like it ultimately failed with Amanda going home. So my question for you is tonight, we've got 6 Saints versus 2 Rebels. What is your argument on why you should stay or why you and Ryan should stay?
It's the exact same thing. I mean, are you trying to play to win or are you trying to play for 6th place? I mean, we are numbers for you guys. You want to make a move with us. We're good assets right now.
Okay, interesting. Who would you?
I mean, I still don't know completely how true when Devin brought up the trios before how that was, but right. you take 3 people, you add us, you still take us out at Final 5. I mean,
that's a good point, John. You're saying that you could be 2 numbers to take out an entire trio that we've heard about. But my question for you is, who would be the person you guys should take out? Who are the big threats you guys should look for? Ryan, you're saying nothing.
There's nothing to say because everybody's playing an amazing game. I don't know what else to say. And nobody talks to us. We are the kids in the corner, go in a timeout while the big teachers are talking. That's how it feels.
I mean, I literally asked the other day, what are we thinking? What's the plan? Or who's sounding good right now? And I literally was met with, that's a good question. Okay. And then silence.
Interesting. So Saints, let me ask you guys this. We've got 2 people here. We got 2 free votes. They're saying everyone's a threat. We don't care who we vote for. We'll vote for whoever you tell us to. Is that sound enticing to anyone? Or are you guys, let me ask anybody. Luke, let me hop over to you. You won immunity today. Congratulations, all of that jive. But do you think that would be smart gameplay? Jumping ship now with your trio or your not trio and scooping up 2 people who are on the bottom to make a move over a big player?
I mean, I think it depends on what you value. If you value loyalty or if you want to see good play, a phenomenal play, I don't know. I think it depends on the person. And right now I'm just kind of going with the people that I trust.
Okay, going with the people that you trust. Today we saw you obviously win that, you beast moded that card transfer challenge. Really smart strategy with the transferring your weight on your knees. But you're going with the people you trust. Do you think winning, multiple challenges, especially at this point in the game, puts more of a target on your back? Or do you think that, the people that trust you aren't really looking at things like that, and even the people around you?
I don't necessarily think that challenge wins hold much more of a more value than the strategic and the outplay aspect. I don't think people value it as much as a phenomenal move. And also I've only won 2. There's been 6. I've won 2. Everyone else, there have been 4 of the people that have won 1. So it's not like I'm winning every day,
Right.
So I don't think I have a big threat. I don't know. I actually probably do have a big target because my name's been thrown out every tribal, it seems, previously. So it definitely feels good to have immunity tonight.
We've seen you win your name come up probably in the past, I would say 3 tribals, I would say, if that's a fair assessment. What are you doing today to negate that target? What are you doing today to prepare you for tomorrow to negate that target? Is it still work with the people I trust? I'm a saint for a reason. Or is it, potentially figure out something out to put yourself one step ahead of those people?
I mean, I don't know. You just kind of have to take everything day by day. At this point, that's what I'm relying on. And if I can win an immunity and make sure that I'm safe, then I'm going to do that.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate it. Rebels, John and Brian, do you guys feel like all the Saints, when I ask them these types of questions at Tribal Council, they go with a little bit more, saintly-esque type answers? Rebels, we've been to a fair bit of Tribal Councils together. I think, John and Ryan, I've seen you guys more than anyone else. So how does these tribals now and their answers compare to the tribals that we started the season off with, or even the ones that we had developed throughout?
This still doesn't compare anything to what Ryan and I dealt with at the beginning of the season.
And that's crazy because the stakes are almost higher at this point. So, uh, you think that they
Yeah,
go a little bit
you're
more of
right.
a smart, safe route with their
They're playing the political route. They're gonna try and smooth us over with some fun, safe answers that might make them look good to the jury and try and get our votes as they kick us out the door.
All right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Interesting. All right, I just had to bring it up. I think that it's funny. Keslen, I'm going to hop over to you. You were a hot topic of discussion at the last Tribal Council and at the last Immunity Challenge, where you've won a couple of interesting titles from touchy subjects. However, at the last Tribal Council, if I'm not mistaken, did you receive any votes at all at that Tribal Council? No. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm prone to mistakes. All right. No votes at Tribal Council, even though you won, a fair bit of, bad categories at touchy subjects. Do you think that that speaks to your position in this game? Lots of people trust you, or do you feel like, touchy subjects doesn't really matter? And last night we had a plan going into it.
I think it's a combination of both. First, like I mentioned last time, I do think I was, for whatever reason, the scapegoat for
Right.
those prestigious awards.
Uh-huh.
But at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of these votes have been very unanimous. So the
Right.
fact that I didn't get votes last time doesn't mean I won't get votes this time. Because
Right.
like Amanda received what, 6 out of the 8 votes? So it's very possible I could receive 6 out of the 8 votes tonight. So I think past tribals, for the most part, aren't a huge indication of your safety in the future.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think that, well, I guess is it more voting blocks voting together to attack or to eliminate one specific person? Or do you think that it's a lot of different intermingling webs that just so happen to come to more unanimous decisions together? Or are all these votes one singular alliance?
I mean, I don't think it's a secret to anyone that the Saints are working together.
Okay, yeah.
So I think for whatever reason, it like gets out, and so people will tell others what's going on, and then that's how the votes become more unanimous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. I appreciate it. All right, last question for you, not just for Keslen, but for everyone in the game. Show of hands, besides Keslen, who else hasn't seen a single vote in this game? All right, the only other one is Peyton, I believe. Molly, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't remember. That's why you got to keep up with that stuff. All right, so Peyton or Molly. Peyton, I'll hop over to you since you were pretty confident. I think it's kind of strange because your name has come up and Keslen's name has come up at the past couple of tribal councils now, both about being threats, about, vote counts in the past, interesting things like that. Neither of you have seen votes in this game so far. Do you think that speaks a little bit on your position in this game?
I don't think so. I think it's honestly I'm hearing my name because I'm supposed to be on my toes, I guess. A lot of rumors have been started about everybody. Like everyone has had their name thrown out by somebody. And so things get twisted so easily. So everyone's name kind of gets put out. But I think it speaks to like how honest I guess I'm being, and to where I tell the truth, like, hey, this is what happened. I don't know if it lines up with what else you've been hearing, but just kind of clearing the air. Like the one tribal where like Ryan literally asked me a question, we cleared the air. That's what you need to do sometimes. You just need to clear it. And so I think that that's kind of helped both me and Keslen in that sense.
Okay. Last tribal, we talked about you not being super stoked on being set out of that immunity challenge. But then at tribal, you actually claimed a little something that was back here in my background. My first question is, did you see that during the challenge or did you not catch it until tribal council?
As soon as Amanda started talking, I looked and I just covered my mouth because I saw it.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, so it was back there in touchy subjects. It was back there during the auction. So
crazy.
I was just curious if anyone saw it. But my question for you is, how much do you think that you needed that advantage? Because I've been doing this for a while. I've been playing games. I've been watching the show my whole life. And when there's a live advantage claim, most of the time people wait until the votes have already been locked in. But you went ahead and you jumped on it before we even voted. So do you think that you really needed that advantage?
I just felt like if I saw it, I couldn't have been the only person to have seen it. And so I just thought I don't want to be the second person to find this because then I'm going to kick myself so hard because I see it. I literally raised my hand. That's how much I just needed to say it. So it's not that I felt like I absolutely needed it. It's the fact that I wanted to be the first person to get it because it's something nice to have in your back pocket.
That's very true. It is something nice to have in your back pocket. Mama D, are you kicking yourself at all for missing that advantage that was literally just hanging there while I was talking for well over an hour before it was claimed? How much are you
I don't have good eyes. As you can see, I've got glasses.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So with the existence of that advantage out in the game, have you or anyone else been looking for any more that could potentially be out there? Or do you think, the ones that are out are just the ones that are out?
I've been looking, and whoever finds it, good for them, because they must have good eyes, because I don't.
You definitely hide them. Definitely don't want to hide them easy, for sure. My last question for you is, since Peyton went ahead, we know for a fact Peyton is sitting on an advantage in this game. Is the target on Peyton's back a little bit bigger tonight? Even though we're saying we're all voting Rebels, is Peyton's target a little bit bigger?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Everyone's a target in this game, so I can't say. We're all trying to survive each day.
Okay. We are taking it day by day in this tribe. And that is a very, very dangerous strategy to play at the final 8. We'll see what happens. All right, last question is going to go to Mr. OJ. OJ, you and I have talked in previous tribals about when is the right time to make a move. Timing is everything, as you said. So we've seen 3 Rebels go in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Carl, Devin, Amanda. Is tonight the night? Is tonight the right time for someone to make a move at final 8, or do we still need to get the rest of these Rebels out of here?
Gosh, I wish it were as simple as just the timing, because I think that what you see, and really in the last 3 votes, you could look at each individual situation a little bit differently. Like, I wanted to believe what Carl was telling me when we were having a beer together, but then I knew that he was having those same conversations with everybody else. It's kind of the same way that it happened with Devin too. Like, Devin was gonna bring you in and say, hey, look, I got to tell you something that nobody else knows. But then you find out later 4 other people know the same secret. So there's timing and there's trust and there's all kinds of factors that go into that. I think it's always the question is tonight the night to make a move? And I think tonight in particular, and as we move forward, it's always going to become a bigger and bigger question because, look, it's no secret. John said we're running out of Rebels to work with. So if there is a time to work with a Rebel, that time is quickly coming to an end if we keep going in that direction. So I think there's all kinds of things to consider.
Back-to-back days. That's when the time will be up for sure. All right, my last question for you, OJ, is what is more important? Okay, getting to the final 6 with the people you've always been working with without a resume. I'm not saying that you don't have one, but what I'm saying is getting to the final 6 without a resume or building one at the final 8 and risking your game. Which one is more important? Which one is the better strategy and why?
Well, I think it's even more interesting with the dynamic of this game too, right? Because we see it every day when these Rebels get voted out. Like, it's different with this versus others where you see people, former members of the game, jury members that are commenting negatively on the plan. And that a lot of this jury is wanting to see moves. That adds another layer to this. And I don't think there is a time to make a move just for the sake of making a move. I think we saw some of those earlier, honestly, in this game where it was like, this is a move just simply to make a move. Where's the benefit of it? But now, as we're getting deeper, I think that, resumes are certainly going to play a factor. If there's 6 Saints sitting at the end, how do you distinguish them? And I think that's really hard to do right now. And then so that brings even more questions into it of whether there should be 6 or not. So obviously there is a ton of factors that go into that. But at the same time, you want to be able to trust the people that you're trying to make a move with. And if you can't, there's nothing you can do.
Awesome. Great answer. All right. Thank you very much, OJ. With that, I am going to close the questioning. If anyone has anything that they would like to say, now would be the time to do so. Remember, this may be your last opportunity to fight for your life in this game. The floor is yours.
Lane, I'd like to go ahead and play that advantage.
You're going to play your advantage. Can you send it into the main chat for us to see, please? All right, Peyton has received a safety without power. She can play this at Tribal Council, and she can walk away. However, she is sacrificing her vote. So, Peyton, I can confirm that is a safety without power. She will not vote tonight, but she is safe from the vote. However, you don't get to stay for the rest of Tribal Council. You got to go. See ya. All right, cool. Does anyone else have anything that they'd like to say? Going once, going twice. All right, cool. The floor is now closed, and we will get to the voting. As always, I'm going to call you one by one, each to your confessional. Please send me the parchment of the name of the person you want eliminated from this game. I'm going to go in order of the people I see on my screen. So the first person I'm going to start with is Keslen. Keslen, go ahead and send me your parchment, please. All right, thank you, Keslen. Let's go ahead and get Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. Let's go ahead and get John. Thank you, J Money. Let's go ahead and get Molly. Thank you, Molly. Let's go ahead and get Luke. Let's go ahead and get Mama D. Diane, send yours. Just waiting on Diane's vote. That's it. Just waiting on Mama D's vote, and we'll be good. Thank you, Miss Diane. I have all the votes tonight. Since we are the final 8, Peyton is gone. The final 8 is now 7 votes, so I will have 7 votes tonight. I will be back shortly. All right, I have all of the votes. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol or an advantage and you want to play it, now is the time to do so. Going once, going twice. All right, votes are now locked. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. The person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I will read the votes. First vote, John. Second vote, John. That's 2 votes, John. Third vote, Keslen. It's 2 vote, John. 1 vote, Keslen. Fourth vote, Keslen. We're tied. 2 votes, John. 2 votes, Keslen. Fifth vote is John. 3 votes, John. 2 votes, Keslen. Sixth vote, Keslen. We're tied again. 3 votes, Keslen. 3 votes, John. 1 vote left. Seventh vote, and the next member of our jury, Keslen. Keslen, I'm sorry. The tribe has spoken. You have any final words?
Y'all got me. Can't wait to find out who voted me out. Oh my, damn it. I was so worried I was cursed because Dominic picked me for fantasy and then I got 8th place like Dominic.
Oh, man.
Good game, y'all.
All right, Keslen, you were a joy to have on this season. I love talking to you in confessionals. Fantastic player. I know you did Haley proud, but it looks like a big blindside tonight. Hey, stick around and we'll talk to you afterwards. Thanks so much. All right, and with that, the final 8 become the final 7. We saw a safety without power play, and we saw a huge Broski blindside. I am curious to see what kind of effects this has on the rest of the game. I will be talking to you guys very, very soon, but for now, grab your torches, head back to camp. Good night. Bye, guys. Bye, bye, bye.